Hi friends, how are you? In this video we are going to learn about the sodium potassium ATPase. It is one of the active transport. Okay. Sodium potassium ATPase is present in all eukaryotic cells. This is an antipode that pumps potassium into the cell and sodium out of the cell against them concentration gradients. This antipode transport system is primarily responsible for maintaining high potassium and low sodium concentration inside the cell. Structure and its functional aspects. The sodium potassium ATPase is a heterodimeric protein made up of two subunits, an alpha and a beta subunit. First, alpha. The alpha subunit is a larger catalytic subunit. Alpha subunit is a larger catalytic subunit with molecular weight of about 1 lakh, and beta subunit is a smaller one with molecular weight of about 55,000 of unknown functions. Alpha subunit has catalytic activity. Beta function is not known. At the cytoplasmic site, alpha subunit has ATPase activity and binding site for 3 sodium ions ATP and phosphate. At the extracellular side, alpha subunit has binding site for 2 K plus and quabine. Okay. Coming to the figure. This figure shows the alpha and beta subunits. This is the structure of sodium potassium ATPase, and this figure shows two subunits, beta and alpha. Beta is smaller one with molecular weight 55,000, and alpha subunit which is a larger catalytic one, and this is the cell membrane. Beta subunit, alpha subunit. This is the extracellular, this is the intracellular side. Okay. Alpha subunit has in cytoplasmic site and binding sites for ATPase and binding site for 3 sodium ions and potassium binding site and for 1 phosphate. Okay. If you observe here, this is extracellular side of alpha subunit. If you observe here, it has 2 binding sites, one for binding of 2 K plus ions and one for binding of quabine. Okay. Next, binding of 3 ions of sodium and an ATP molecule with the carrier on its intracytoplasmic surface causes hydrolysis of ATP, giving rise to ADP and inorganic phosphates. When 3 sodium ions and 1 ATP binding along with the carrier in intracytoplasmic surface, this causes the hydrolysis of ATP to ADP and inorganic phosphate. Clear? When in intracytoplasmic surface of alpha subunit, 3 sodium ions and ATP molecule along with carrier on its intracytoplasmic surface, it causes the hydrolysis of ATP, giving rise to ADP and inorganic phosphate. The phosphate group is bound to an aspartic acid residue of the alpha subunit. Next, on activation of sodium potassium ATPase pumps 3 sodium ions out of the cell and 2 K plus into the cell. Sodium potassium pump catalyzed the hydrolysis of ATP to ADP and uses this energy to pump 3 sodium out of the cell and 2 K plus into the cell for each mole of ATP hydrolyzed. Therefore, sodium potassium pump is an electrogenic pump as it forces net positivity charge to out of the cell and it has the coupling ratio of 3/2 for 3 Na plus out of the cell, 2 K plus into the cell. What is importance of electrogenic pump? Electrogenic pump creates the electrical potential across the membrane, which is basic requirement in nerve and muscle fibers for transmitting electrical signal. Next, coming to the functions. Functions of sodium potassium ATPase. Sodium potassium ATPase is a P-type ATPase. As the carrier protein is phosphorylated during the process, it pumps 3 sodium ions out of the cell and 2 K plus into the cell. It serves many functions of the cellular functions. First, cytosolic ion concentration. Sodium potassium pump opposes sodium ion to accumulate in the cell and potassium ion to exit from cell along the concentration gradient. Thus, sodium potassium pump maintains a high concentration of potassium and low concentration of sodium into the cell. Next, cell volume. By maintaining ion concentration of both sides of the cell, sodium potassium pump regulates water movement across the cell. This maintains intracellular water content and therefore cell volume. Failure of sodium potassium pump activity can lead to cell swelling and rupture. Next, protein synthesis. The primary function of sodium potassium pump is to maintain the high intracellular concentration of potassium, which is essential for protein synthesis. Next is resting membrane potential. Sodium potassium pump also maintains resting membrane potential by maintaining ion gradients across the cell membrane. Next one is hormone actions. Sodium potassium pump mediates action of many hormones on the cell. Some important examples are thyroxine, aldosterone, and insulin. Next, coming to the mechanism of action of sodium potassium ATPase. Sodium potassium ATPase being a P-type ATPase, phosphorylation and dephosphorylation of the carrier protein lead to transfer of ions across the cell membrane. Being a P-type ATPase, phosphorylation and dephosphorylation of carrier protein lead to transfer of ions across the cell membrane. First, binding of 3 sodium and 1 ATP molecule to their respective sites on subunit activates the enzyme ATPase that catalyzes the hydrolysis of ATP to ADP, liberating high energy phosphate bond, that is phosphorylation. This phosphorylation of alpha subunit by ATP causes conformational change in the carrier protein that transfers 3 sodium from inside to the outside of the cell. This phosphorylation of alpha subunit by ATP causes conformational change in the carrier protein that transfers 3 sodium from inside to outside of the cell. If you observe this diagram, on intrasite, this is the intracytoplasmic surface and this is the extracytoplasm, this is outside of the cell. Okay guys, in intracytoplasmic surface of alpha subunit, it has binding sites for sodium, ATP and for phosphate. Okay, and the 3 sodium ions and ATP binding to their respective sites on alpha subunit. This causes the activation of enzyme ATPase. This catalyzes the ATP to ADP and inorganic phosphate. Okay guys, when the sodium and ATP bind to the respective sites of alpha subunit, this causes the activation of enzyme ATPase, and this ATPase catalyzes the ATP to ADP and inorganic phosphate. Clear guys? And this phosphorylation of alpha subunit by ATP causes conformational changes in the carrier protein that transfers 3 sodium ions from out of the cell from inside to outside of the cell. In the next step, 2K plus bind to the outside of the alpha subunit, and this leads to hydrolysis of aspartic acid phosphate bond. Hydrolysis of aspartic acid phosphate bond. We call this as dephosphorylation. When the phosphate is released, this causes the conformational change in the carrier protein, and this leads to the transfer of 3 Na plus from inside of the cell to the outside of the cell. Okay, and in next step, 2K plus bind with the alpha subunit outside, and this causes the dephosphorylation by aspartic acid phosphate residue. Okay guys, and this leads to the 2K plus from outside to inside of the cell. In next step, dephosphorylation in turn causes reconformational change in the alpha subunit that transfer 2K plus from outside to inside of the cell. Reconformational change of the carrier protein also returns to the original form. Thus, during one cycle of conformational, that means conformational means it is phosphorylation, and reconformational means dephosphorylation. Conformational and reconformational change in the alpha subunit of sodium potassium ATP is 3 sodium ions are pumped out of the cell and 2 potassium ions into the cell, and 1 ATP is hydrolyzed into the ADP and ATP. Regulation of sodium potassium pump activity. Activation of sodium potassium pump. Many hormones, chemicals, drugs act by increasing sodium potassium activity, such as activation of sodium potassium pump, which increases the sodium potassium activity, are thyroxine, insulin, aldosterone, G-actin. Remember guys, thyroxine, insulin, aldosterone and G protein, G-actin. Okay, this activate the sodium potassium pump, and the factors that inhibit sodium potassium pump are many hormones and chemicals act by decreasing sodium potassium pump activity, such as dopamine, digitalis, metabolic poisons like 2,4-dinitrophenol DNP, etc. and hypoxia and hypothermia inhibit sodium potassium pump activity. Okay guys, in next video we are going to learn about the other ATPases like calcium ATPase, hydrogen and potassium ion ATPase, hydrogen ion ATPase and ABC transporters. Okay, if you like this video, like, share and subscribe. Thank you.